Welcome to episode 26 in the Slingshot series. I'm Nithya Karia, here to teach you the 5 simple high vibe habits to consistently prioritize your well-being and get happy and healthy on purpose. Let happiness be your path to success instead of the product of it. This week, I wanted to explore the concept of happy on purpose, specifically the on purpose bit. I began this week by asking the question, what are you willing to leave to chance? I really wanted to think about, both personally and for my clients to think about, this idea of what are we doing on purpose? Because as successful people who've had success in one or multiple realms of life, we realize that came because of a plan that we made, that we followed a list, we followed a path, and then we achieved something. And while this is a really effective strategy for achieving a goal, something attainable, right? A job, a degree, a health goal, life is so much more than that. Now, I've been there when my life felt like a series of tasks. I can remember when work I loved, even people I loved, like my children, were to-dos. And I don't say this because I don't love my kids or I didn't love my job, but because I was overwhelmed with what I believed I needed to get done to attain this perfect vision of what success looked like. Really living into other people's definitions. I believed what I was told, that happiness was a result. But what I've learned since is that happiness is actually a path, something we can both plan for and experience in the present moment. It's not an either or. So, what do you do on purpose? My success, my appearance, my health, retirement, my vacations, heck, even the food that lands on my dinner table is intentional. All of it I do on purpose. Have you ever stopped to wonder what parts of your life you live on purpose and what parts you leave to chance? What do you hope will happen or maybe expect to happen? We are very used to planning and preparing for careers, the way we look, maintaining our health, and where we'd like to travel. We plan for a lot with the expectation that doing creates a more positive life experience. While all of these things can contribute to our overall sense of well-being, none of them guarantees it. And when our happiness doesn't show up or doesn't stick around for very long, it's really easy to believe those myths we hear, that happiness is elusive or fragile, or the sad truth that sometimes we believe that it's simply not for us. But here's the real truth. The truth is that we're not setting ourselves up to experience it if we're not getting happy on purpose. Now, setting ourselves up for this failure to be happy, it feels like exhausted. It feels stressed. It's where we experience our guilt and all that overwhelm, more than we feel good in life. Learning to move ourselves into a high vibe state is vital to maintaining the perspective we need to experience the life we want. We can't receive from things we can't see. If we're not tuned in and receptive to the good in our life, we don't experience it. And we're more likely to experience all this good in our life when we consistently meet our needs. This whole idea that you need to feel bad on your way to feeling good is simply not true. If you're not experiencing your life the way you'd like to, I offer you this simple solution. Get happy on purpose. I invite you to pause today and ask yourself, without any judgment, simply with curiosity, how much of my life do I live on purpose? And am I willing to leave my happiness up to chance? If your answer is no, if you are ready to really grab your happiness by the horns, here's the first step you can take to getting proactive about your happiness. Decide it. Yes, that's simple. Decide how you want to feel. Get that clarity. You can use whatever words you want: happy, joyful, peaceful, whatever resonates with you. The important thing is you're choosing an experience for yourself. The second piece is to know how you feel at any given moment. My high vibe habits start with the simple question: how do I feel right now? It's so important. When we realize we've been taken out of the state we chose for ourselves, we can take back control. We can choose to do something to get ourselves back to that happy place. It could be a breath, a pause, a walk, a run, a statement like, I need a minute, or even just verbalizing our state by saying out loud, I'm feeling really frustrated right now. The point is, we can't decide what we'd like to experience if we don't know how we're feeling in the moment. This lack of clarity is how we get swept up into reacting instead of responding. It's where we often begin cycles of guilt and regret. The more you practice this simple two-step, the easier this intentional transition happens. You become less and less likely to stay on that emotional roller coaster and better at doing what it takes to maintain your high vibe state. That's the place where you're proud of who you are and the decisions you make. That's all for this episode. Sending all my love and gratitude.